Hello, everybody. My name is Lisa Lamont, and I'm the host of the show, Ladies, Get Your Prance On. And I have another exciting guest that's back in the house. Last time I had her, she was on my radio show, and now I wanted to convert over to video. And she is a raspberry filled in a box of glazy Krispy Kremes. She's a rebel, she's an all-around maverick, and she's always paving new paths, crushing the norm and standing, get this, fiercely in her own authenticity. As one of the first bilingual elementary school students in the early 70s to flourish in a beta school where Spanish was introduced as a mainstream to English-speaking students. Miami, Florida was forever changed by her youthful power and fearlessness. And she was thrust into the spotlight early, giving her a taste of leadership, unique perspective, out-of-the-box thinking, and opportunities. And so welcome, Allexia Brewer.
Hi, that is so cool to hear somebody read that.
Well, I don't have my glasses on. See, I'm like.
Me too. I'm going to have mine just in case.
I love it. So share with the viewers who have not had the opportunity to meet you, and I don't know who hasn't met you yet in my tribe, but where are you from?
I was in Miami, Florida until the 4th grade, and then in the 4th grade we moved to Raleigh, North Carolina back in the early 70s, and I have been in Raleigh, North Carolina ever since.
Now, were you affected by the storm a while back?
Oh, yeah. Well, Raleigh, our coastline was like crushed. Yeah. So there are still pictures of the eastern part of our state that are horrible. I mean, churches are underwater. So yeah, and Raleigh got hit. A lot of us lost power. I lost power for 2 days, trees down, flooding. Yeah, it was not good. It was definitely not good.
And it's interesting because once something happens disastrous, like 2 weeks later, it's moved on to something else. And so you never hear about the recovery and the rebuilding and the fact that stuff is still underwater and still, it's just craziness. It's absolutely.
People are going to be in shelters for months. Their homes are gone. So it's, cemeteries were caskets floating. I mean, it's awful.
That is, well, I will definitely keep everybody in my prayers there because, people just don't hear afterwards. It's just really sad. I was in when we had Mount St. Helens, it erupted. Get this, Mount St. Helens erupted on the first morning after I got married. It erupted. And I'm like, if that wasn't a sign that my marriage was like doomed from the beginning, I'm telling you.
Wow.
And it was interesting because when we ended up going over to Eastern Washington because we didn't have a lot of money, and we ended up having to come back. You couldn't see, there was no visibility, and people didn't really, they saw the disastrous pictures, but for a long time, there was tons of ash around the area. It was really creepy. I mean, the sun was blocked. It was really weird. And so,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Disasters.
What year was that?
That was 1980.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. May 1980. And I'm just like,
yeah. The day that will live in infamy.
Forever. So for people who may not know who you are, you have this fantastic group, and I want to talk about your business and everything you do. But the reason why I'm like, Allexia, come on my show, because there's so many women groups out there, right? I belong to probably 20 women groups, but a lot of them, business women don't understand, especially new people starting out, that they join all these groups and then they jump with their ad, buy this. I'm not going to name any brands, but buy my brand, buy my brand, buy my brand, buy my brand. And you created this incredible video not too long ago where you took a stand and you said, you know what, sisters, we're gonna change this up and we're gonna switch it up. So share what inspired you to do that and what was your message?
So when Fierce Women Entrepreneurs started in March of 2015, it started out as all groups do, as a place to connect and meet and share and talk about business and personal, the same thing that most of them start out being. And in the beginning, it was great. And it just grew so quickly that I turned around, and after a year and a few months, we're at 9,100 members. And I realized that my group had become the very antithesis of what I do in building relationships. Yeah. It became a billboard. it became a billboard. The ads got so overwhelming that nobody could connect. Nobody could find me. People would say, you posted, but I don't even see it. Where did it go?
Yep.
And I said, you know what? It's time. I had been thinking about it for a while, and I said, we're stopping this. We're going to put the ads on the weekends only, gives everybody 2 days to promote to their heart's content.
Yep.
But during the week, we're going to leave the space open for genuine connection without our businesses. So it's a bit of a challenge, as you and I have been discussing. So the group is about relationship building, how to be online and lead with the relationship and the connection versus leading with the business.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's where we are. Yeah. And it's amazing because it's like people came out of the woodwork. I mean, I had a thread open up. I mean, we had like 100 comments, and people are talking and they're introducing themselves. They're learning it. It's not, I'm watching them. They're following and trying and getting into it, but it's like unlearning what we've been taught or what we think we should be doing. So it's a challenge.
Yep. Absolutely. So if you wouldn't mind giving an example of that one thread that I was recently on, about giving an example of what was your question that you asked?
So from now on, what I decided to do, and somebody who is helping me admin with the group said to me, when people come in, when we welcome people into a group, normally, hi, I'm Allexia Brewer. I'm a online business strategist. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I teach women, da-da-da-da-da. I am, looking for da-da-da-da-da. That seems to be the standard introduction. And one of my admins said to me, are we going to allow them to promote their business in the welcome? And I said, I don't think they should be allowed. Let's try it without it. So now what I do is I say, welcome to the group. I'd like you to share 3 things about you that we would be interested in learning that have nothing to do with your business.
Ooh.
And so it's a challenge that women have a hard time with this, and so they're starting to get into it much more. And, tell us something. I said to one woman, tell us something that makes us super curious. Try to convey a sense of curiosity in what you tell us. If you just tell us that you sell another product, nobody really cares.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but nobody really cares.
No, people buy from people that they like. I mean, yes, we all need skincare. I'm 58 years old. Of course, I have to use skincare. Of course, I have to use more. Well, I don't have to, but I choose to. And so once I get to know and like and trust the person, then and their skin looks great, I'll go, wow, look at it. And what is it that you use? And people don't understand, because even if I may not need your product, I'm going to introduce you to somebody else who may love your product or may want to sell the product too. I mean, it's all about building the relationships. So Speaking about facts that people may not know, Allexia, what are some little facts about you that people may not know? Because I see you as this tough, fierce, go get them. But there's a soft side to you too.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah. All right, I'll give you some recents. I am, like, my heart is tortured when I see animal cruelty. Like, I cannot handle it at all. I saw a couple things yesterday that shook me to the core. Animal cruelty is a big passion of mine. I'm extremely creative. However, I struggle with Halloween costumes. Like, I cannot, for the freaking life of me, come up with a damn Halloween costume. It's unbelievable. My daughter said to me, Mom, you're so creative. I said, no, I'm not creative with this. I don't know. She said, I need to be something, and I need it to be homemade. I'm like, I don't know what you should do. I have one item that I am passionate, well, like my very favorite. Want me to show it to you?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. I didn't plan on this, so hang on.
I love your wall color too, by the way. I love that color.
Thank you. So this is one of my very favorite possessions. I do not have a lot of, I'm not like a thing person. My mom's generation, it's all about the things, we got to have 6 sets of china and blah, blah, blah. Me, I'm not really that, a collector? Yeah, no. Yeah. No, a hoarder, collector.
Yeah.
No. But this little dolly, this is tiny. This is one of my favorite possessions in the whole world. Like, I worry about sometimes where Tiny's going to go, which daughter is going to get Tiny and keep him or her. I don't even know if it's a boy or a girl. I've never really decided.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are 3 things about me: Tiny, and my Halloween lack of costuming, and animal cruelty.
Well, and the thing, like with Facebook, once you click on one of those things to learn about it, then of course the feed will show more, and it's something that I have to just step back from. It's like, because it's sad to know that there's so much cruelty out there.
It just stopped me in my tracks yesterday. It really did. I could not shake it all day. Even today I woke up. I mean, I prayed last night about it. I did everything that I could, and it's awful to think about. Yeah.
The one thing that I saw in the storm situation on the East Coast, that there was a lot of animals that got missing, and
they just float away, or they just drown, or they're abandoned, or we don't think about the animals, the livestock, horses and cattle, and they just drown and go away, I guess, or wash away, which sometimes I think might be better in some of these things that I see, that the animals just die. I prayed for that last night too. I said, just take them. Just please take these, and just take them. And
so do you, I heard some dogs barking in the background a while back. So you have animals, and what animals do you have?
I have 2 dogs. We have 4 turtles. We've had everything in this house, from guinea pigs to hamsters, fish, turtles. We've had cats. So we're kind of an animal kind of we're an animal house.
That's a great. I had years ago. I had the little smaller turtles. But my girlfriend in California, she had a turtle that was like 50 or 60 years old. I mean, they can live a long time.
You should see what I do for these turtles. I treat these turtles, these 4 little turtles. You should see. I put them in the sun during the day because they need their sun, and then they come in at night because it's too cold. And I feed them only a certain kind of lettuce. And I will catch. This is something you would love to know about me. Yeah. I will catch live flies in my house. If a fly comes in, I will catch it and put a live fly in there for them to eat, because heaven forbid I put a dead fly is just not appropriate for the little turtles. Yeah. So I'm fanatical about these turtles. So,
well, they have personality. People don't understand. And there are people that I know that have snakes, and people are so scared, but people have their snakes. They love their snakes.
They love their snakes.
It's all of our perception about, things that are scary, and learning about that. I love animals too. Matter of fact, when I was babysitting, my first thing that I did was rescue the greyhounds, because back when I grew up in the 70s, the greyhounds were being put down, and they were using live rabbits. And so I was sending a portion of my babysitting money. And shortly after that, they quit using live rabbits, because if the rabbit was still alive, they would keep it for another race. And so all this changed as a result. So even early on, you and I were on the same page about loving animals and the greyhound rescue. And I have a girlfriend that has greyhounds.
Yes. There's just so much. I don't know.
Yeah.
You feel a little helpless, but you just can do what you can do.
And that's what we have to do in life. So so how can the people find your group, and who are the ideal people to go into your group?
So Fierce Women Entrepreneurs tends to attract entrepreneurs, tends to attract people that love the word and resonate with the word fierce. And fierce has been a word that is very, very big in my branding. I have all these fierce isms that I create all the time. Fierce the relationship, kiss my fierce is in. I'm drawing a blank. I have like so many of them now, I can't even think, but that's a few. Yeah. And so it tends to draw people. I think the word fierce, tends to draw them. And then of course, entrepreneurs tends to draw them. Once they get into the group and you read and you see my new video, it's really for people that are tired of doing it the way that everybody keeps telling them they should be doing it. And I think people are like, oh my gosh, you mean I do not have to push my business on people and I can still get business?
Yes.
So yes, we're terrified to allow that. We think that we cannot do it that way. Well, if you think about it, that's the way they did it hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
The guy in the corner had apples. The person over here needed a pie. They exchanged hands. They talked. They shook hands. They did. This one gave them apples. This one, and they went about their business. I don't know where I think social media has something to do with it. I think people think that in social media or on social media that it's different. I've heard this a lot recently.
Yeah.
I do this in person. I'm much more relationship focused in person, but I thought online it was different. And I'm like, what do you think? Why do they think it's different?
Yeah.
So it's unschooling people. It's teaching them etiquette. It's teaching them how to respond. It's teaching them, why do you friend request?
Yeah.
Are you just randomly out there friend requesting? And when somebody responds to your request or that you respond to theirs, do they answer you? It drives me bananas.
I'm glad you're talking about that. It goes, it is, or they'll add you and then they'll add you to their I'm not going to mention any MLM groups or whatever, but they'll just add you to that group. So can you talk about the etiquette of that too, of what, when you have a page, is it important to send out an invitation to them and let them know what it is? Do you just add it? What is the etiquette on that?
So I got into a thread about this, and somebody that you and I know very well said in the thread, she said, it really doesn't matter to me if people add me. If I don't want to be in the group, I just go out.
Yeah.
I think she's rare. I think overall people do not like that. So never do I add people automatically to a group. And I tell the members of my group, do not automatically add your friends. I don't care how good of friends you are with them. Ask them first.
Yes.
Here's the group that I think you would love because, and here's the link if you want to join.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and I wanted to add too, for the people that are new, they may not know, when I started my women's group, Prancing Kittens, I started that almost 6 years ago. I mean, I've had it for a long time, and back then there weren't a million groups at the time. And when I started Prancing Kittens, I added people who I thought would make a great prancing kitten. It's about women supporting women. It wasn't just entrepreneurs, but it was like no religion, no politics. Thank God. Look at what's going on with that. We won't even go there. But in the beginning, I added, and it wasn't until one person, like a year later, said, please don't add me without asking. And that was my aha, and I never thought about it. Allexia, prior to that, I was adding all these people going, oh, you're a prancing kitten, you're perfect. And so I didn't know. And so I want to share that with the people we only know what we know. And then I recently changed because so many people were spamming. I didn't have your sense wherewithal of taking control. I left the group and made it a Prancing Kitten page. So I had to do that because it was out of control, and and that's what the show's about. This is Prancing Kittens to highlight women. I want women to get to know women on a personal level. So I love that.
When you mention the politics, and I'll say this, I think that what I've been very aware of, and you and I are both online all the time, and let me say, I mean, when I talk to people about social media and what I see, I'm walking the walk. I mean, I'm on all the time. I look at groups, I look at posts, Facebook algorithms, you name it, I'm looking at it all the time. One thing I've noticed about the political season that I think relates back to this is that we seem to feel that when we're online, anything goes.
Yeah.
We can call people any name we want. We can do anything we want. We can say what we want. We can, there's some nasty. I mean, I have seen, I often think to myself, are these people talking to each other like this on the weekends, at a football game, in church, after church?
Yep.
I don't think so. I really don't. I really do not think so. But I think that we get here and we seem to think all bets are off. So I'm trying to teach in my group that this is no different than if you were standing at your daughter's wedding reception and you're talking to your friends. Yes. Or if you're at your son's football game, or your daughter's ice skating competition, or you're at your mother-in-law's house for Thanksgiving. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. You have to have manners. You have to have courtesy. You have to respect. You have to be kind. You have to be considerate. And you got to put the spotlight on others. This is not like, your own personal whatever fashion show or personal, spotlight thing. it's about conversation. And so that mindset, I think we've lost, but I'm trying to get everybody to refocus on that.
I'm so glad when the political season's over. Well, my thing that I tell when people are talking about it and bashing, I'm going, you know, we're having a problem with bullies. We've always had bullies in school, and kids learn bullying from who? I mean, some of these people are on there, their kids are their Facebook friends. They hear them talking. They're openly, I mean, they're giving kids permission to not like someone. If someone's not on your side, like if someone's not pro-Democrat or pro-Republican, that as it's open season to bully you.
Yeah,
I've seen so much bullying. It's so sad. And friendships have ended. Friendships have ended.
There's bullying. There's a lack of communication. There's no listening going on. There's no mutual understanding going on. It's like all bets are off. I can take off. I can put on my ugly mouth, and I can put on my ugly face, and I can get in here and sling mud like there's no tomorrow. And it's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. Yeah. So I think in the business, to take that back again to the business, it's the same thing. It's not as nasty, but it's almost like, well, I can force myself upon you if I want to. We're just online. You don't know me. I don't know you. You're never going to see me again. I'm going to do whatever I want, and here's my product, and here's my business, and yet it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. Yep. So women at the end of the day say, it's not delivering any results. Well, no, it's not. Yeah. It's not going to. So it's very interesting.
I tell you, what you're doing with your group, I'm definitely following it and seeing where it's going, and that is why I loved having you on the show. So what is your day job for the people that because see, you don't spam the groups.
Never. I never do. I have a hard time with that, actually. You know, I don't really love to talk about myself too much, but yeah, I teach standout strategy. That's my day job. So I help women to stand out in their marketplace. Yeah. What I did through building relationships, I ended up realizing was my standout strategy. Yeah. That is how I started to stand out to other people, because even though some were doing it, a lot of people really, that I saw, really weren't talking about it. So I started kind of talking about the relationship, and I started to realize that was setting me apart from everybody else. There are far more talented people online than me, but I found my way to stand out. And so I teach women standout strategy, and there's a lot about it. There's tons of strategies that go into standing out in the marketplace, but that's my day job. That's what I love to do.
I'm telling you, and you have that niche for doing that, and you're standing out bold and fierce, but at the same time, you're not a quote unquote badass, because sometimes I think people get confused with being fierce and passionate versus, you know, there's a lot of this, you know, I'm going to kick ass badass type, you know, I'm going to be bad, and that's okay. But there's a difference between that and fierce, meaning passionate and loving what you do and sharing all of that. Yeah. And I mean, you've been a key person for me to bring out my fierceness. I mean, I tell people now I'm the modern day fortune teller. You know, I read cards and I do hypnotherapy. And I stopped worrying about people judging me, calling, you know, a witch. I've been called a witch. I've been called a bitch. I've been called an unchristian for what I do. And I have to own that I believe my gifts come from God, because they do. That's what my heart believes. And you were one of those people, Allexia, that gave me the courage and the strength to let people know this is what I do, because I can't help people if they don't know what I do, right? That's right. And the same thing with you. I want to throw this back at you. You know, you can't help people if they don't know that you can help them show up and be fierce in a loving way, because you're the most loving kind. I mean, they take the fierce word and they think, you know, tough, which you can be. You know, I can be tough, but you are one of the softy.
I am a softy.
Oh, you are. You're just absolutely sweet and kind.
You know, I did what was the video that I showed? I posted a video in my page. I do standout strategy. I do have a business page where I kind of outline business strategies more than I do in my Fierce Women group. And somebody messaged me and she said, "Was that your voice in the video?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, I did not expect you to sound like that. I said, "What did you expect me to sound like?" And she mimicked what you said. She goes, "I don't know. I thought you would be more like tougher and I said, no, it's just, you know, but I am very fierce. Yes. I am very fierce. And so maybe that's what makes me very relatable. And people go, well, if she can do it, you know, and, you know, then I can do it too. So I hope that's the case. I do hope that's the case.
So what's the name of that other group that you have then?
So my page is Standout Strategy. It's Allexia Brewer, and it's Standout Strategy. And that is like, I'm pulling out just specific standout strategies. So in the Fierce Women group, it's the relationship. It's all about the relationship. But there are a lot of strategies that are in there. So I'm kind of isolating them in my page just to kind of keep it clearer, because it's hard to follow all this information.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm doing on my page. So yeah, you can find it.
I will get both those links, and I'll have them added to the show, so people can find you on both those ways. So I will do that. I can do that. So you are a mom?
Mom. I have 3 daughters. Yes, 19, 17, and 11. I have a husband.
I can't believe you have a 19-year-old. I'm like going, what?
19. Yeah, she's 19. My 19 is in college. My 17, we're trying to get into college, so we're on that path. Yeah. And Queen 11-year-old is busy being Queen 11-year-old.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so cool. So how can people find you, Miss Allexia?
So the easiest way to find me is in the Fierce Women Entrepreneur group. I am the first to admit that for most of my presence online, I have not had an active website up and running. That's coming soon. I am one that believes in websites. I tell people this. However, I find people do tend to rely too much on them. Yeah. So I've kind of held back on my website, and it's interesting. I've done what I've done with no website. Yeah. Just being me, just me. But AllexiaBrewer.com is coming. So it will probably be up and running probably the first of the year, because I've got some other projects going on, and I'm just going to be publishing a book, and I'm going to be on TV, and I've got a lot of good things. So I need to funnel everybody into the website. But Fierce Women Entrepreneurs is the best place to find me.
So you're writing a book? See, now this is the first I've learned about this. So can you give us a little teaser and talk what the book is about? I'm not going.
So the book is going to be on leadership for young girls. The book is set in Greek mythology, and it's about a character who is a fierce leader. And it's going to be I definitely see a series. I see me attacking kind of a lot of relevant issues that women and young girls deal with, from health and body image, and I want to tackle racism and diversity and learning issues. This character is going to kind of walk a walk that I think many young girls do walk, and try to balance fashion, appropriateness, boundaries, all of these relevant issues that I think we need to start raising our young girls with, because we need more leaders. We need more leaders in this world. Nobody's going to stop the animal cruelty. I really believe it's going to be the girls in this world that are going to do it. I tell my girls all the time, you got to get out there, and we've got to breed them and raise them so they're strong enough to withstand what comes when you're a leader. And it's not easy. It's just not easy, So that's going to be the book. Just signed the contract, getting the publishing going on that. So hopefully end of January, 1st of February, that will be on.
Wow.
And
I'm sitting back going, wow.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I'm so excited. I'll show, you'll see more about it as I get closer, but I wrote this book. I wrote this one will introduce the character, but again, it'll be a series, and I've had it for so long, and it's quite exciting to know that it's really going to actually be like a book now. It's going to happen.
Now, is this a book that could be made into a movie down the road?
I see a movie. I see a doll. I see a clothing line. I see a whole enterprise around her. Let me show her to you. You want to see her?
Yeah, I have goosebumps all over my arms. I'm just like, whoa.
Now she will have dark brown hair, but this is her. Can you see her?
Oh yes, beautiful.
So a friend of mine drew this for me. This is my character, and she's going to be quite amazing. She is. I hope she's going to be a really great role model. And we don't have any, like even the Disney princesses. I'm not quite seeing that we have quite the amount of diversity I think that we could have not so much skin color diversity, but
Yeah.
other things. I think so. I'm hoping that I can really, really present something that not only little girls can read, but moms can read and get inspiration from. I mean, the messages of leadership are going to transcend age. So, you know, a grandmother, a mother. I want to talk about mother issues in the book, expectations, all of these things that I think we all deal with. And then we grow up and we don't know what we're doing with all this stuff. And so that's where the book is coming in.
And see, you're making a difference. You're writing the book. You're putting the message out to get, you know, to have women stronger. You know, that on Prancing Kids, I talk about mirror love. You know, I use the term mirror love. And I have moms that are teaching their daughters mirror love, teaching them to look in the mirror and say their name, I love you, what good may I do for you today? And saying, I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do well. And this is where this comes from, is teaching the women, but also for the women that moms that have sons, to teach them respect too, and the boundaries of respecting women too. So it's not just teaching the young girls to be mindful and strong, but also teaching the young men, you know, that they too, that the boundaries are changing, you know, that you know, women are respecting their bodies more. They're going to be saying more all the time, like, my body is sacred and I'm just not giving it away to anybody. I really see a trend going that way. I really do. And getting to know people emotionally instead of just hormonally. So I just love it. Allexia, I cannot believe our half an hour is just like flown by.
I know.
I love it. So it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. When you're ready to launch your book, I would love to have you back on the show so you can talk about it. And I'm telling you, I didn't know this. All these things I learned when I have my guests on the show.
I know. I would love to do that. I can't wait.
Oh, it has just been a pleasure. Everybody, we're going to be back next week with another exciting guest. And till next time, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you.